Hello, Shalom, and welcome to How to Pronounce and Say in Hebrew. And in this video, we will talk about Gershayim. In the last lesson, I talked about Gerish. And here I'll explain what Gershayim is. So, we use Gershayim to indicate an acronym. So, Gershayim looks like this. So, it's double gerish. In modern Hebrew, a punctuation mark, it's always written before the last letter of the non-inflected form of a word or numeral. 2, 3, 1. Let's go and see some examples. The word school, Beit Sefer in Hebrew. This is construct state. As you can see here, double gerish, double gerish, double gerish, double gerish, Gershayim. And I'm explaining. So, Beit, the word is from bait, and in plural, batim. Bait in Hebrew means house, home, and even in poetry, stanza, verse. And the word book, sefer, and plural, sfarim. And construct state, Beit Sefer. So Beit Sefer, this is school. And as you can see, Beit Sefer, we can write this like with Gershayim, Bet Yod Samech. But actually, when we read it, even though we write it like this, you can see it in the papers, and even if you write this or type this, right? You will always say Beit Sefer. And in plural, Batei Sefer, it's like Batei, but you cannot pronounce it. You know that this is Batei Sefer. This is very well known. Explaining this because I want you to know what Gershayim means, right? And here with indefiniteness, like the school, Beit Ha-Sefer. Beihas, like Bet Yod Hei Gershayim Samech. And Batei Ha-Sefer. Bet Taf Hei Gershayim Samech. So when you see words like this in a text, you will understand that this is Beit Sefer, Beit HaSefer, Batei Sefer, Batei HaSefer. And here is an anecdote. How did the Jewish people invented this word like Beit Sefer instead of school? So this is a quite ancient, words. Sefer, the meaning was the Bible, like the Holy of Holies, the book of the books, Beit Sefer. So when people learned in school like 2,000 years ago, there was the book, the Bible. So Beit Sefer, that was the school because everybody learned the Bible. Nowadays, of course, in modern Hebrew, there is Beit Sefer for singing, for dancing. Yep. Elementary school, Beit Sefer Yesodi. You can see this in the paper, like instead of Beit Sefer, you can see the short version. Bet Yud Gershayim Samech. Yesodi. But when you read it, you will say Beit Sefer. And singing schools, Batei Sefer L'Shira. You can see this in the paper, like the plural, but you will say Batei Sefer L'Shira. You will write this like this with Gershayim. Here is a different example. We use Gershayim, but we pronounce the word general manager or CEO in Hebrew, we're talking about a man, menahel klali. Manager, menahel. General, klali. We're talking about a woman, menahelet klalit. You see, I add here the taf and a taf. So that's the cue. This is a woman. Menahel klali, menahelet klalit. And this is the short version with Gershayim. So mankal for menahel klali, mankalit for menahelet klalit. Right. I remind you that the Gershayim is a punctuation mark. It's always written before the last letter of the non-inflected form of a word or numeral. So mankal, that's the non-inflected form of a word or numeral. And mankalit, that's the inflected. So that's why here the Gershayim is before the lamed, and here it's not after the lamed, it's before, because this is the inflected, this is the non-inflected, and that's why Gershayim is here before the lamed, and here also before the lamed and not after the lamed. Another example, just like mankal, we pronounce the word with Gershayim. So this is very long, right? The chief of the general staff, commander-in-chief of the Israel Defense Forces. And all this thing is Rosh Mate Klali. So the general, you remember, Klali. Mate is staff, and Rosh, that's the head. And with Gershayim, so like the Reish from here, the Mem and the Tet from here, and the Kaf Lamed from here. And together, Ramatkal, Ramatkal. And the Gershayim is before the last letter, Lamed. And we also pronounce this, Ramatkal. I looked in French, and in English and in German to see what happens in those languages. So I'm not sure that when they are talking or writing about those professions, they say like Sema, like Chef d'État-Major des Armées, like they say Sema, I don't know. And you say Chief of Staff of the Army, like the CSA of the United States, I'm not sure. And in German, Generalinspektor der Bundeswehr. Okay, sorry, I can't pronounce it like, I guess that they just say this, like Generalinspektor der Bundeswehr. But in Hebrew, we can say Ramatkal, because this is way too long. Few more examples. You say the United States. In Hebrew, we use Gershayim, always Gershayim, and we also pronounce it like Arhav. Of course, you can say Artzot Habrit, right? The United States of America, Artzot Habrit. And the short version, Arhav with Gershayim, Arhav, right? And DNA, in Hebrew, we use Gershayim. Daled, Nun, Gershayim, Aleph. And numeral examples. So 18, Yod, Chet. Because Yod, in the Hebrew language, right? That's 10 and Chet is 8. So 18 is Yod, Gershayim, Chet. And 21, Kaf is 20 and Aleph is Achat, 1. And Kaf Gershayim Aleph is Kaf Aleph, 21. That was an introduction to Gershayim. להתראות בקרוב. See you soon.